Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the introduction, and I'm really excited to be here today to talk about the digital transformation and how our industry is progressing this decade. There's just so many exciting advancements that are coming along, which are going to transform our industry. And I want to talk about the drivers of those transformations. So just a little bit about myself. I've been involved in the staffing industry for 25 years. The bulk of my time in staffing has actually been spent in IT and engineering staffing. So I'm very, very familiar with that area. But today I actually consult with a wide range of staffing firms, ranging from light industrial to healthcare and professional staffing. So it's been very, very exciting to get to know these other segments of staffing industry and work with these firms. I'm also the founder of the StaffingTec Conference, which is a conference focused specifically on staffing technology innovation. So digital transformation, it's something that we hear a lot about. It's talked about everywhere, and it's because there's some very good reasons for that. And that's because our entire world is being digitally transformed at a very rapid pace. Every industry right now is going through a massive digital transformation, and our industry is going through a digital transformation as well that I want to talk about. The rate at which new technology is emerging is astonishing. So Satya Nadella, Microsoft CEO, recently said that more software applications will be developed in the next 5 years than in the previous 40 years combined. This is largely through these no-code and low-code software development tools that are emerging, which are making it very easy to develop enterprise applications to streamline your business. The amount of change that we're going to experience is accelerating technologically. We'll see at least twice as much change this coming decade than we just went through in the previous decade. Some people are saying we'll see more change in this decade than in the previous 30 years combined. And the best way of thinking about that is just to think about your phone, the phone that you had 10 years ago versus the phone that you had today. Massive changes in that phone. And when you think ahead of like an iPhone 22 that might come out in a decade, what that's going to look like and what those capabilities will bring to us, it's really kind of astonishing. So while today the industry is largely a collection of people who are driving processes forward through human work, the entire industry is moving into the clouds, where our processes are being driven by algorithms and data. And that's going to result in significant changes to your organization. All right, so we talked about the acceleration of change and how our world is advancing at an accelerating pace. We talked a little bit about how the software development industry is going to generate at least twice as many applications as we've seen in the previous 40 years. I want to talk a little bit about a bank which is a very sort of mundane kind of organization, but is something that's fully digitally transformed. So when we work with a bank, traditionally we've just kind of gone into the bank, we've done our bank transactions, and we go in, we talk with a teller, we get on the phone, we talk with them. But really, when you think about a bank is a highly digitally transformed business. It is, at the end of the day, it's a large software program. It's a massive algorithm with massive amounts of data. A bank is essentially a software company. It's a technology company. And that's the direction that your staffing firm is headed as well. Your staffing firm is becoming a technology business. It's becoming a software business. And so all of these different disciplines that are involved in managing a software company come into play within your own staffing business as it continues to evolve. So there's a bunch of companies that are really at the vanguard of the digital transformation of staffing I want to call out. So a company like Incredible Health, which connects buyers, which connects nurses and people that hire nurses, fully digitally transformed in the cloud. Indeed Flex, which is a company that is involved in light industrial staffing through a mobile application. The temp positions of companies on the East Coast here in the United States, 80% of their placements are done autonomously without recruiter intervention. TopTal, which is an IT staffing firm, which is highly digitally transformed. It's essentially a software company that finds all of its clients through inbound marketing. Upwork, of course, which is part of the gig economy. Allen Recruitment in Ireland, very interesting company, very small company, but they are highly, highly automated. They've completely transformed their recruiting and staffing business through automation. Foreman Therapy Services, which is through a mobile app, has completely transformed how they do business and has improved their efficiencies greatly. R1 in Chicago, very advanced with their tech stack. They have more than 20 marketplace partners attached to their ATS. And of course, Uber, which I think in many ways is the ultimate staffing firm. When you think about it, when you put in a job order for a piece of technology, when you put in a job order for a driver matches up and within seconds, then the ride occurs and then the invoicing occurs, all done automatically without any recruiter intervention at all. So most of these companies have similar architectures in place. They're all highly automated. They all rely heavily on enterprise data and algorithms. Many of them have mobile apps that candidates use. They run 24/7, and there's AI everywhere. Every year we put out an assessment of the top 10 technology trends that are driving our business, and I want to quickly take you through those trends. 5G is a huge trend right now, and mobile phones are merging with 5G. 5G antennas are going in everywhere. What this is going to do, it's going to create a whole new category of applications that are going to become active in staffing and recruiting that we'll start using. Mobile first staffing, more and more our candidates, for the most part, are using their mobile phones to engage with us. And so everything that we do needs to mirror that. Smarter AI is appearing for the first time. I'm actually seeing really sophisticated AI that's doing amazing things for our industry. So up until now, AI has just been sort of assisting, but now it's really about to start driving significant processes in our business through conversational systems. Digital marketing is essential for the success of your business and finding candidates. Digital engagement is critical for the way that we engage with candidates. And data explosion, the idea that we're seeing more and more data that we'll be managing to run our business. Hyper automation, the idea that we'll be running hundreds and hundreds of bots to drive our business. Autonomous staffing, where we're making placements without recruiter intervention, is going to become really a big part of how placements are made. We expect to see 30% of placements made autonomously by 2030, and remote first operations, where we're able to reduce our footprint, our real estate footprint. So at the end of the day, even with all of these technologies, it's all about digital transformation, is all about making our business more human and easier for our clients and our candidates to engage with us. So I want to talk a little bit about the stages of digital transformation. We've identified 5 stages of digital transformation, and I want to take you through those stages. At stage 1, we have what we call a digital resistor. These are firms that are resistant to change, they're risk averse, they typically react to competition. Stage 2 is being digitally aware, where firms that are willing to embrace change, but currently they are more of a collection of point solutions and islands of digital activity. The third phase of digital transformation is what we call a digital follower. They have a clear digital strategy and an execution plan. They have an agile innovation process at their core, and they have digital enabling core activities of their business. The fourth stage is digitally advanced. These are companies that are highly automated. They've been able to reduce their cost structure because of all of the automation that they've put in place. They're hyper scalable. They have a customer-centric approach to delivering services digitally. And then at the highest level, we have digital disruptors, which are really disrupting our industry. When you think about companies like TopTal, Uber, Indeed Flex, Incredible Health, these companies right at the leading edge are changing the way that staffing is being done in this very significant way. So when we look at where we are today in staffing, from our surveys, we believe that the industry looks something like this, where about 3/4 of the industry today, in terms of the number of firms, there's about 20,000 staffing firms just in the United States. About 3/4 are resistors or digitally aware, and maybe 25% are followers, advanced, or disruptors. And there's just a handful of disruptors currently, maybe 5% that are advanced. But the key here is that when we look ahead into the 2026 timeframe, that whole curve is going to shift forward. If you look for where we are today and you look at the curve, the entire industry is moving forward. The entire industry is becoming digitally transformed. We're going to have way more companies that are advanced, way more companies that are followers, and far fewer companies that are resistant and are aware. So that means your competition is moving forward in terms of the advancement of their technology. You're going to have to advance your own tech stack in order to keep up digitally. And these companies, as they digitally transform, will become increasingly efficient and faster at doing business. So the competition is going to increase significantly. And this 3% here in the disruptor area, I think is very, very interesting, because this is really going to be the next battleground in the late 2020s and certainly in the 2030s, is staffing firms that emerge as software companies and are battling it out based on very, very sophisticated software. But we're not there yet. We think about technology a lot as the driver of all this, but really it's culture and process that also play a big role. Your culture, your people, the skills of your people, the vision that you have that you bring to your company, your processes, and how you're going to transform human processes into digital processes is super key. And certainly at the core of your digital transformation will be an agile innovation process, where you are looking at ideas, collecting ideas, and deciding which of these ideas you want to fund, moving these ideas through an agile innovation process, through a sprint process, which might go 2 or 3 weeks, where you make incremental progress on all these developments. And then once they go into production, your company realizes the ROI from those innovations. Now, what is happening as staffing firms transform into software companies or in technology firms, more and more your internal operations will mirror the operations of your own suppliers. CPAL has an agile innovation process at the core of how they innovate. And so more and more, your company, your staffing firm will have an innovation process that mirrors what your suppliers and what companies like CPAL are doing to advance their technology stack. So we have a framework for how we think about digital transformation when we're assessing companies and when we're looking at their digital transformation. But there's a lot of different elements that we really pay attention to when we're helping companies with their digital transformation. We want to make sure that they have a clear digital vision. Do they have a clear sense of where their company is moving digitally? Do they have a strategy for how they're going to fund these investments? Because we're spending more and more now on technology and less direct on people operating expense. Are they thinking digitally in their leadership team? Are they developing their talent technically? Do they have smart process management in place? Do they have an integration strategy? Do they have a way of governing the experience, the software experience, across all the different touch points where their candidates, employees, and clients engage with them? Do they have a strategy for extracting value from the data within your database? Do you have an automation strategy, and do you have a way of governing all your automation? And then certainly as you move from stage 4 to stage 5, do you have a strategy for disruption within your market segments that you're serving? So no matter where you are in your digital transformation journey, I think it's super important that you have a vision and a roadmap for how you're going to take your company forward, and you don't just allow digital innovation to happen sort of haphazardly. You know where you're taking your company, why you're moving it forward in the way that you are, and it plays into your vision and your overall strategy for growing your business. And that's really where we usually come into play, is we look top to bottom within companies. We look at every different department, and we bring in that framework to think about the different technologies in the different departments, how those technologies can evolve, where new technologies can be brought in to augment the tech stack and move the entire tech stack forward. So no matter where companies are in their digital transformation, whether they're at stage 1, they want to move to stage 2, or whether they're at stage 2, want to move to stage 3, we work on building roadmaps to get to the next level. Now, what's interesting is that you can pretty quickly get from level 1 to level 2. That might be like a 1-year process. 2 to 3 is about a 2-year process. I'm currently working with a company that just moved from 2 to 3. It took them about 2 years to do that. I'm working with 3 companies right now that are about level 3, somewhere between 2.8 and 3.1. And we're building roadmaps to move up to level 4. And I think it's about a 2 to 3 year process to move up to level 4. And certainly moving from level 4 to level 5, that really involves a complete internal transformation of companies and the people and how they're operating. That's at least a 3-year process to do that. But certainly the entire industry is moving forward along this path. And it's important to understand how you're moving your company forward. Just some reasons why companies work with us on their digital transformation. We help them build their roadmaps and really highlight areas where they can technologically advance their tech stacks and grow their revenues, make more placements, operate more efficiently, and have a clear view into the future. The good news about where we're at today is that there's never been a time where you can make better investments in technology than today. There are so many opportunities to deploy capital into technology and improve the efficiency of your business and improve the value of your business and grow revenues faster. So it's an exciting time to be part of the staffing industry. If you want to get in touch with me, here's my contact information. And those are the main points that I wanted to share with you today.